In our episode 16, we get to meet the story of Juliana, who came to Australia only to learn English and now finished her PhD and became a neuroscientist studying brain diseases. Her story is definitely a testimonial of resilience and overcoming challenges, especially abroad. You'll have to listen her story today. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode of our podcast. Today we are here with Juliana. Before we start all the questions, I would just let her introduce a bit of herself. Hi and welcome to our podcast.
Thanks. Thanks for the invitation. My name is Juliana. I am 31 years old. I work with neuroscience, pretty much like in research basic. And I'm excited to share what I like, my story and how I got into the point where I am now with everyone who is listening. Yes.
Yeah, which is very exciting career and story. So what, first of all, like what inspired you to come to Australia or even like to leave Brazil and live abroad?
So first of all, it was because of English. Like research is all done in English. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. The English is the common language to do research. So for me, it was really hard to learn English, just like going to like English course. And when I didn't start super early because from my background, my family, we never went like overseas. It was something that was really unachievable for us. So my parents never thought, she needs to learn English because we're going to Disneyland. It was never something that my family did before. So when I started my biomedical science degree, I finished the degree and I was doing like honors degree, which in Brazil is like an internship. Then I realized when I was going to write my first paper, I realized that I really needed to learn English, that like writing academic journal, academic paper I would not be able to write using like Google Translate. And I was doing my internship at University of Sao Paulo. And at the moment they had the internship where you go overseas that the government used to pay. And like to apply for that, you need to learn English. Like you need to prove that you had enough English to actually do the internship overseas. So it was barrier for me to continue in research field. I never wanted to live abroad because I was really attached to my family. But then it was like just because I needed. Not because I wanted to live in
you
Australia.
had the dream of
No, it was just needed. The plan was going to Australia. I was like looking for places that I could work and study at the same time. So US, they had like few cities that you can. It's not every place. You can obviously as illegal, but I wanted something. I wanted to do like the right way. So then I was looking for the places, and I almost closed the deal to go to New Zealand. But then because of the weather, I didn't go there. So I choose Australia based on, I need to learn English and also like a place that would have like a lifestyle that I actually like. At the time, I was almost finishing my degree as a biomedical scientist, and that was the time that I was going to apply for either master or directed PhD. And then you need to submit a paper to kind of like continue in the career.
To like, there's a requirement to keep studying.
Even in Brazil, like how it works in science, you can do a direct PhD where you skip a master, or you can do master and then PhD. I was going to do a directed PhD in Brazil because I had 3 years of experience.
As a researcher. In the
because
lab.
the honors in Brazil is like an internship. It's like I was intern inside of a research lab, and that's why I could do like the directed PhD.
Nice, cool. And then you decided to come to Australia to then learn English, but it was like a experience of like 6 months, or you already knew you're gonna be here for a while when you came?
I knew 6 months would not be enough. So to learn the level of language, English that I needed.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I am willing to go and stay a year, 2 years to be fluent in English. But I came to Australia, I couldn't speak like nothing.
Nothing. Wow. This is impressive. Yeah.
I knew, like, I did study a little bit in Brazil, but at the time that I was studying, I was doing my degree, I was doing my internship. My dad had a pharmacy store, so I used to help my dad in the pharmacy store as well.
So cool.
Yeah, so my day was like going to uni at 7 a.m. So, and I am from Sao Paulo. So it was an hour from my house. I did not have time.
Like very busy day to actually start learning English as well.
Yeah. And then, like, on the top of it, I was doing the English course twice per week.
Wow.
So it wasn't my priority because I needed to finish my degree.
Of course, yeah. Especially with like very busy routine.
Yeah.
I remember even when I was doing English back home as a class, was like the least important thing of the day. And I think that's why when you live abroad, it's much easier because everything you do will be in English. So you kind of like start getting everything. And talking still about the beginning, how was like the challenges that you faced initially? Like how was like comparing to Brazil, to your life? Or I know like how long have you been in Australia for now?
8 years.
8 years. So it's like a long time ago. But do you remember what was like the first impressions, challenges? And
Yeah, I wanted to go back.
yeah, to come back home.
Yeah. I hated so much in the beginning because, first of all, I came from a really big family. Like, I have 2 sisters and I have a cousin that's like, I consider her as my sister as well.
Yeah.
So my house was like always full, like happy. And I was never alone.
Yeah.
And I think for me at the beginning, the most challenge was like the loneliness. Nobody tell you.
Yeah, that you feel very lonely and
depressed, and how hard it is because you feel like, oh, you're gonna be living the dream in another country and so on, but you need to settle down. It's so hard to make friends when you're adult, when you don't speak the language, when you don't know your surrounds. Like, it was really, really hard. The only reason I didn't went back to Brazil was because I really need to learn English.
Yeah,
because
you had a goal.
Yeah, my initial plan was like, okay, 2 years, that's it. So I came here with 9 months of visa, and I knew that I could apply, like renew the visa. But my plan was like, I need to focus and learn English.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's so good that for you it was like a very like challengeful beginning. For me as well, it was very similar. Like I just want to come back. And then in the end you achieved like crazy results, like became PhD and scientist and everything. And also I think it's very nice to include that after many years, your sisters now, they live with you. Yeah. So it's actually very, like, emotionally speaking, it's very cool that after everything you probably went through by yourself, now you have them, and the fact that they had you made everything easier for them as well, because you know how it's like being here by yourself. Yeah. So that's actually very amazing. And then talking about the beginning of your career, that you're studying the University of Sao Paulo, like, how did you find your passion for this industry? How you started everything?
It is like, I was thinking about that like few months ago, why I started, because someone asked me the same question and I was like, I don't know. I always loved like TV series, and it was always like Grey's Anatomy, the Dr. House, and I remember I really love reading, and my first book was about neuroscience. There's a guy, it's like, it was the first neuroscientist that managed to, you know, when twins born attached to each other. CMNs. Yeah. I don't know how to say. Yeah. And he was the first guy to manage to detach to like successfully. Oh, cool. And none of them had like died or had any consequence from the surgery.
Wow.
And I loved the book so much, and it was my first. And then I think my second and the third was Still Alice, which is about Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
Which that's what I work now. I don't know, somehow I always had like a passion like with neuroscience, but it wasn't my plan. So one of my why I choose biomedical science was because of a teacher that I really admire.
Back in high school?
Yeah, back in high school, she was my biology teacher. I was like, oh, she's so cool. I want to do that.
Sounds very cool as well, biomedical science.
And then when I was trying to get into uni in Brazil, I was doing the course, and then my teacher was also biomedical scientist, and then he told me he used to do research. I was like, that's it.
Me.
That's what I want to do. Because I never wanted to be a doctor. Even though I'm good with people, I didn't want to deal with people.
Doctor, I mean like
a medicine, practicing medicine. I never wanted to. So I was like, cool, I like research. I was somehow always like interested to this field, but no, I couldn't see myself being like a nurse or
like in a clinical kind of place, more like research.
I always like more research. I wanted to contribute to the field, but not having to get attached to them.
Yeah,
you know.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's very nice when like someone becomes a lawyer because they really like a lawyer series, and in your case like books and stuff. I think it's very, very nice because even I really like those books and those topics, but I never thought about like becoming a scientist. So I think it's very cool that you followed that kind of like dream. So and then what motivated you to start studying this also in Australia? How was like the timeline? So you came to learn English, and then how did you like ended up studying at QT?
So the first year that I was here, like the first 3 months was really hard, and then I started to build my network, have my own friends, and then I went to Brazil after 11 months living here.
11 months, okay.
Yeah, and then like I was really happy because I was surrounded the people that I love, but at the same time I couldn't see myself living there anymore.
Yeah.
And I still wanted to do like research, but I didn't know how I would get myself into, because all of my friends here at the time was like cleaners, delivery, Uber Eats, you know?
Yeah, you cannot see how you're gonna leave this kind of environment if no one in your environment can actually do another thing.
Yeah. It was always like people leaving, the people that I knew was always living the immigrant life.
Yeah.
But then when I went to Brazil for my first holiday, I was like, okay, I am not happy here, like completely 100% happy as I thought I would be. It's not like just I'm missing all of them, but I felt like I went back to the past.
Yeah.
Like everyone was living the same life that they were before I came to Australia. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I love the lifestyle, how safe Australia is. And I like who I am in Australia. So then after I came back from my holiday, I was like, that's it. I am not gonna...
Like I have the answers.
Yeah.
That's my place.
Yes. I want to be here, but I don't want to be here like working for the rest of my life as a waitress or... like cleaner, which is fine. Like at the time I did not have any issue with that, because
you can pay your bills and everything, but of course you're driven by something else.
Yes. And I had a career, you know, I wanted to develop my career. I didn't want to lose the passion from science that I had. And I was like, I started looking for how to apply, because I didn't do a master in Brazil. I was like, okay, I need to do a master here first. That's what I thought. And I was like applying, I don't know, I think I sent more than 150 emails to like supervisors.
For like to start a PhD or to work in the field?
Like I tried everything. Like I couldn't find not much information about how to get into that, because I didn't know anyone. Right? And then I was like looking in the internet on how it works and blah, blah, blah. I knew like how it works in Brazil. just to summarize, when you work with science, like you normally, before you get accepted into a PhD program, you need to get a supervisor that's willing to accept you on their lab or whatever. So that happens for honors or for masters or for PhD or even for, in Brazil, even for postdoc.
Like everything that involves the thesis.
Yes. So then I was like, okay, I need to build like my CV and send to a bunch of supervisors that like working with something that I like to work with neuroscience.
Yeah.
I sent more than 150. Like every day I used to send. I was like really willing to. But you know, Brazilians, we don't know how to summarize.
Yeah.
And they are a bit different here.
Yeah.
Because like they are always straight to the point.
Yeah.
And I used to send an email like that.
Explain your whole life story.
Yes, like why I came to Australia. This is like content for interview, if I got it. And like think about every time that you apply for like, I don't know, in my case, for a PhD or a master, you were dealing with people that is really busy.
Yeah.
So if I can give you a tip, it's like I always try to go straight to the point. Like my name is Juliana. Here's my I am a biomedical scientist with honors degree in blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And here's my CV and my cover letter. I am willing to talk further, or I would love to have an opportunity to get an interview.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need to tell why you came to Australia.
Yeah.
So when I was applying, I did a mistake because I didn't know that internship in Brazil, it's the same as an honors here.
Yeah, that's why I asked in the beginning, because I'm more used to the Australian terminology, because I did uni here and everything. But yeah, so internship in Brazil is both, like, could be the honors as well.
Yes, like in Brazil we call iniciação científica, which is honors. Like in Brazil it's not compulsory, as long as like if you're not associated in a public university.
Yeah.
So it was not compulsory for my degree because I was enrolled in a private university. But I did anyway because I knew that it was what I wanted to do, like work in science. So I did for 3 years. Because of that, I had 3 years of lab experience and I had two papers. One as a first author, which is like you did like
the whole work.
And then one as a co-author, which is like I participate in a small role on that. So because of that, I was overqualified for a master in Australia.
Oh, yeah. Probably because you had all the requirements already to the PhD.
Yes. So for Australian, if I didn't have done honors, then I could not do a direct PhD.
Yeah.
So for a master, I would have to pay. But then for a directed PhD, which I was qualified to apply for, I could apply for 100% scholarship. So then I just found out that after a year and a half of trying.
Oh my god. So yeah, because it's very fun, because imagine like you send the email, which is super long, and I agree what you said about being straightforward, because I think when you are straightforward, you empower yourself. Like you're like, yeah, I'm Juliana, I'm this and that, like I'm not questioning myself. I needed an opportunity. But when you tell the whole story, sounds like
you're desperate.
Yeah, you're desperate, and then you're like, oh yeah, I really need this. So I think that's a very good point. And the second point is like the mix up with internship and honors and what you actually need, which is again something you can only find if you first have people that know and you're kind of have the networking or trying. And I think I really relate to you on that, because like when I came to Australia, I didn't know about anything, and I see like friends of mine or even my sister when she came, it's much easier because you can explain in like 10 seconds something that you took 1 year and a half sending emails, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I just realized that because I was really insisting.
Yeah.
And I got an opportunity to have an interview with Brazilian research.
Oh, you're an angel probably.
Yeah.
He explained everything to you.
At the time, I didn't feel like he was my angel. I felt like... because I went to have an interview with him, and then he was like, look, everything in English. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God, he said that?
Yes. Like at the time that he saw me, he's like, nice to meet you. My name is blah, blah, blah. We're just gonna talk in English. Oh, I felt like he was so
weird.
Yeah, and
This
like
is
I was
weird.
like, come on.
Like
be nice.
Our mother language is the same, bro. Like,
yeah, yes. So he made me to make a slide presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation of like what I have done in my honors. And during the interview, and I was like, my English wasn't that great yet, but I was like, okay, let's do it. So I did, and then after everything, he was like, why are you applying for a master? I was like, because I haven't done a master. And he's like, yeah, but you have done an internship that if you like translate to Australian regulations would be honors. So first of all, do you have money to pay for a master? I was like, no. And then second, you should, I don't have money to keep you here, and you super overqualified for a master. And then I'm really glad that even like being rude, he actually helped me, because after that I started changing like how I approved. So I don't know, I think he was like, this girl, she's lost. So he was like, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes of my precious time trying to help her. So he was like, okay, look, you should apply for a PhD. I don't have position for a PhD, but you should do that.
But at least he guides you to the right way.
Yeah, he guided me like so well. So I'm glad for that. And then he also said, just make your email shorter. So I think knowledge is the key of everything. I think nowadays, at the time that I was applying for, I didn't know, like we didn't have any AI. But now you can use AI just to do
even questioning.
Yes, like how do, like I have done
this and that
and blah blah blah. And how can I apply for a position? Doesn't need to be like a research position, but how can I apply to, how can I use my qualifications back in Brazil to apply for positions in Australia?
Like, sometimes even gives you like the links and saves so much time.
Use the tools that we have nowadays like to guide you, because these took me so much time to figure out how I should approach.
That's a good tip. And also, like, apart from the time that you spend, is a very nice story, because I think a lot of people that I know, they could do so much more with their time here or even in any other country, and they don't do it because they don't know the possibilities and what they can do with their own experience. But considering then you started the PhD, so following the story, you start applying for then PhD, which was you were looking for. How was the process? Like, did you actually find someone?
So after the Brazilian research gave me like some tips, I continue applying using like all his tips and actually worked like straight away.
No.
Like I sent another email, and then on the same day the guy replied me. I was like, oh my gosh. But then I was like, because I didn't have experience in Australia, I was willing to do a voluntary, which could be a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Like a voluntary
for
work.
like for free.
Oh yeah.
I was like, look, I think you can ask him for a volunteering to show that you're willing to work with that company, but also don't underestimate your value. Like shows like, oh, I'm willing to do a volunteer for a month, and then we can see if you have a position for me, blah blah blah, because I wanted to have that position. Like, just don't ask for a volunteer, because they don't see it as a good way.
Yeah, it is again the same thing about the email. You have to empower yourself. I think, I don't know about other countries, but here in Australia, I feel as much as you empower yourself, like I can offer you this, a lot of places open to you, like sponsor, whatever. You just say like, I need this, and they probably, they might not, but they probably will give to you, which is better than I need this, you know, like they should need you.
Yes, exactly. And I now, like I already have done my PhD, but we will continue. I have some students, and I always say, it's like, have the confidence that I'm in.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes man doesn't have a clue of what they're saying, but they say with like so much confidence that it can sell you anything. Just be confident. I know when you don't speak the language so well, it's really hard to build that confidence, but don't show your weakness that people could use against you. You know, like don't be arrogant, but also don't show that easily your weakness. Anyway, so then I applied for a volunteer. I got a position in that place that I applied for the volunteer. I did a volunteer for a month. That person hired me as a research assistant to train my CV for an international
market
application, like international student application. Like, look, I want you to get Juliana into my lab, and she's already working with us. Great. I love that person. He's one of my best mentor ever that I had. But then he had a personal issue. He had to move away from the country. I didn't end up doing my PhD with him.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, come on. Yeah. I can't believe it. Because I had to apply for different PhD. And every single email that I sent after that, I got an interview.
No way.
Yeah, like I sent 10 and I got 10 interview. It was like in the same.
Crazy.
Yeah. Just because I short, and obviously I had experience in Australia.
And you show the way, like you can, like they can beneficiate from you.
And I also had like,
this is so good.
I don't know, like for research in Brazil, it's still a thing that you need to have a letter of like recommendation. I don't know about other fields, but in research in Brazil works the same as here.
Yeah.
So because I had the experience here, so I had a letter of recommendation from someone in Australia.
Yeah, this
so
makes
it was so much
a lot
easier.
Of difference.
Yeah. Then I did my PhD with a great mentor. I'm so glad I did with him. I'm still working for him. And that's how I got it. Yeah.
It's so good. And what's the research about that you...
So I still, like my honors was in Alzheimer's disease, where I used to work with animal models, like mouse. They had a mutation that was a higher risk to develop Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
So that was my model. So I used to use that as, it was a basic science to identify biomarkers that could tell, okay, this person have or not the gene, the mutation that would cause Alzheimer's. That was really basic. Now I work with cells from patients. So my project now is more for drug target and drug delivery using patient cells as a model to study the disease mechanisms and the disease phenotype.
Okay, so you started with the mouse thing, which you mentioned was more basic, and then you went to the kind of human cells.
Yes.
And then now you also study the drugs, like how the drugs impact the body, or?
Yeah, one of the things with neurobiology or any neuro disease, it's some drugs cannot enter into the brain.
Oh, okay.
So some molecules is just too big to penetrate to the brain because we have like a physical barrier. So my project is more like looking how can I make the drugs get into the brain.
Oh, see, wow, that's so complex.
Yes, and then we use those cells from patients and then we make like brain in a dish. And then we try different approaches to see, okay,
to analyze.
To analyze and to, okay, the drug X works like that, and drug Y works like this, and blah, blah, blah. So my PhD was in Alzheimer's, but now I have done my PhD like last year. Now I'm doing like a postdoc. Like now I have like different projects that I lead with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, childhood dementia, and then like Huntington, other disease. Yeah.
So you kept studying, like, you know, you just kind of graduated from a PhD last year, so you kept studying. Yeah,
it's like here in Australia it's a bit different. Like it's still a postdoc, but in Brazil, postdoc is like a degree. It's still. Postdoc here, it's like more a position, it's like a job.
Yeah, you're still like in the field.
Yeah, I am not doing any uni. Yeah, but like
You're still on the research on the...
Yeah, we're still working as a research. It's the next step of a research who wants us to work in academia. So I can either go to industry, but I don't want because I really like research. And you can also work as a research and development, where you're testing a hypothesis into an industry lab that you want to sell the drug. You can also work as a research in the industry, but it's more what the company wants, you know?
It's more for like the salary, the career, whatever.
So now I'm like,
capitalism.
I work as a research fellow here, which would be a postdoc.
Nice. And what do you think was the most like fulfilling thing about your work? Like, because as a scientist, I can imagine you probably see some results or you can find stuff. So how was the fulfillment so far?
I think it's because science is really slow. I am what they consider early career, which is like when you finish your degrees. Of course, significance of my work is I'm still building that. I'm not yet even close to clinical research where you test the drugs in patients.
That you created?
Yeah, but I think what I really love is going to conferences. Because when you're in the lab, it's really hard for you to feel what you do matters. Because I don't have the contact with patients. So when you go, when you go to conferences and then you start talking about the significance of your research and like what your study, what your results means and what can mean in like 5 years, 10 years from now. That's how you that's when you feel, okay, what I do actually, it's important.
Yeah, it's important.
So last year I went to the Mention Australia conference, where they have multidisciplinary, where you have nurses, you have social work, working with the patients directed. Anyway, so then you actually see, okay, let's continue because it's hard and it's easy to feel it's not that important. You know?
You cannot see the work, like the results straight away in the daily life.
You need to see a big picture.
True. Nice. And what was the biggest personal challenge building a life here? Like, so now you already finished your degree after how many years was the PhD?
In total, until I got my degree, it was 3 years and 9 months because I did internship. During my PhD, I did like 3 months internship in the industry.
Okay, nice. And then now you're still working in the same kind of like place that you did your research? So
yes, I did my PhD with Anthony White, my boss, and I decided to stay because, as I said, they measure how good you are based on your productivity, how many papers you have, how many conferences you have attended, and so on. So when you move between labs, you need to start a new project. So I didn't want to start anything new because I had things that I wanted to publish that I was
holding. So you're kind of like, you've been working there for, I think I saw you on LinkedIn like for 5 years maybe.
Because before I started my PhD, I did also research assistant. Research assistant is basically to help in the lab with anything that they... it's kind of housekeeping and helping the lab with the orders. Yes, things that people don't normally have time to. So then I did 6 months there until got my PhD scholarship offer. So I got a scholarship from QG, that's where I did, and also from the University of Melbourne. Nice. But I didn't want to move to Melbourne.
Okay.
And I started my PhD in March 2020.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Literally when COVID hit.
Yes, and Melbourne was the worst city.
Yeah, it was the worst city.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I didn't accept it there because here it was just next.
Yeah, it was very chill. Nice. Yeah, so you would say like the biggest challenge in your journey in Australia was more like getting the PhD and going through the whole COVID situation?
I think yes. Building the network was the biggest challenge. But after that, during the PhD, everything was challenged. First of all, because of the COVID. Second, because I always thought I didn't have the confidence that I have now. I think it's not just because of the language. On the first voluntary that I had a really, really bad supervisor, not the person that hired me, but the person that was supposed to training me. I was bullied by him.
No.
It was a lot of harassment.
And he was Australian?
He was, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he was from Serbian. And then he came here when he was like 10 years old. Yeah. So it wasn't great. And as I said, my English wasn't that great, especially academic language. It's different. Like,
it's very different.
Yeah, the vocabulary that they use inside in the lab is completely different than the English that you learn in
the streets.
On the street or in your English course. So I think building the confidence to actually feel I belong to the role that I was felt like I am a faker. Because when you say I am a scientist, people say, oh, you must be so smart.
Like you feel like an imposter.
Yeah. I felt that like for the first 2.5 years of my PhD.
Yeah.
And I heard from one of my supervisors, my mentor, oh, I'm afraid she will be able to finish this PhD because of the English level of English she has. So building the confidence was really hard.
And people also are very in your way, like making everything harder.
Yes.
Yeah, which is very bad. But I think also on top of that, not closing, but like closing a little bit the topic of the PhD and connecting to what you're saying now. Do you feel you like found your community in Australia? Like, how do you feel about this part of your life here?
I think like you need to surround by good people.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely my family never doubt of me. Like at the time that I got into PhD, I had like a partner. He was really supportive. And also my friends. I feel like nobody can do that alone.
Yeah.
I think moving abroad, you need to surround build your own network. And you are away from your family. So I think that's the reason why it's so easy to connect with Brazilians, easier than connect with Aussie or any people who were born here. Because when you migrate, you know how hard it is. So you're more passionate.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think definitely like everything's hard. Life is hard.
Yeah.
And not fair sometimes. So you need to surround yourself with good people.
Connect. I think the connection comes off the struggles as well we have in common with international people. So I think it's easier to have the community in that way. So do you feel you built like a community with Australians or not really? It's more international.
Most of my friends are Brazilians, and I have a lot of friends from India, Nepal. I do have like few Australian friends, but I think the culture and also the background is a bit different.
It's like makes a difference. And then the polemic question, like, what does home mean to you now? Like, do you feel here's your home? I think after 8 years, probably is an interesting question for you, because most people here they're like 4 or 5. So how does home feel to you now?
I think home feels like here.
Especially now that you have your like part of your family here.
Yes, of course, for me now it's so much easier than for my friends, because I have 2 sisters and both of them are here. I don't know if they're gonna stay forever. But, I'm enjoying the time that they're here. My parents came here a couple of times.
Sure,
my dad's actually here for a long holiday.
That's so cute.
So it's good. But I do feel here's home now.
That's cool. And then looking back, there's anything different that you would do? Or if I could come back on time?
I think I would start learning English before. And I think I don't regret anything, but if I have a tip to anyone who is listening, it's plain. Doesn't matter what is your network. It's not because you don't see anyone surround you that actually succeed or made it, that doesn't mean that you're not doesn't mean that you're not gonna get it. You know that song from Zeca Pagodinho, like Deixa a Vida Me Levar? I hate that song in so many ways, because don't go with the flow, you know? Like
the song literally says that I would just live life kind of guide me. But in a weird way, like in a chill way.
It's like
very chill.
I think it's about growing up. Like one of the things that growing up shows us is like you need a routine, you need a plan to make things, you know, like don't wait, oh, I will see how it goes. It's not how life works.
Especially here, because if you don't have a plan, you have to leave.
Yes.
That's literally what it is. And then what advice would you give you to like aspiring scientists out there that want to move to another country? Doesn't even need to be here, but I think you kind of covered that in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. But there's anything else you would say?
I think LinkedIn, it's a good tip because that's how you connect with others. Also, some people message me like, oh, how did you get into where you are now? And every story is different. I think we compare ourselves a lot. Mm-hmm. I remember during the process that I was trying to get into, I met two girls that they made a huge difference. And I always compared myself with their story. Mm-hmm. Like both of them had done an exchanging program to another country. They had a network here.
Oh, wow.
Or they met their supervisors in Brazil, knew someone here. Mm. So I was using as an excuse, like, oh, that's why they go to. I'm not going to get because I don't have a network here. Of course, if you have a network, it's easier. Mm-hmm. But it's not impossible if you need to build your own. So I think LinkedIn is such a good tip.
The network.
Yeah. Network's the key for anything. Mm-hmm. I think in Australia, it is the key for every single professional.
Yeah, if you're marketing.
Yeah. But in research, it's even huge. So build your own network in any way that you can. Yeah.
Nice. And then kind of to close the episode, when you think about the name of the podcast, Building Roots Abroad, what do you think about that?
I think it's great because I haven't seen anything like that. Mm-hmm. Not at all. As I said, I was looking, how much time I spent trying to actually find some good, useful tips from different people. And it was always the same bullshit, which I understand it's important, but that's not the only tip that you can give.
It's just the exchange kind of like...
Yeah, I think it's great. And then you're doing like such a great favor to so many people.
Thank you. And then do you feel you built your roots in Australia? Like you feel rooted in Australia?
I do. I feel I'm ready for my citizen. I just need them to accept that.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to use my degree here. That's the country that even though it was hard, they gave me opportunity and I'm so grateful for that. And perhaps in 10 years having my own lab, having my own students and so on.
This is so cool.
Yeah. And I think Australia is home for me and I am,
Love that.
Yeah.
So I think this episode was like incredible. I learned a lot because I don't know a lot of people that going through this pathway overseas. I think is a hard one. And I think you went from scratch, you know, like it's not that you got transferred from another job to Australia, like you went step by step. And I think it's a lot of insights and it's a very nice story. So thank you very much for the episode, for being here. I'm very happy. And I think for everyone listening, I'm pretty sure she'll be happy to answer questions on LinkedIn or whatever. She can be your network, maybe.
Anyone can, as I said, knowledge is key. If anyone wants to message me on LinkedIn, I'm happy to answer.
Yeah.
And I am happy because someone helped me.
Yeah.
So
even if he was rude, he helped a lot.
Yeah.
She's not rude. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And I see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.